Hey guys, I'm out here walking around in last year's strawberry crop, and I sprayed it with Gramoxone. I think I explained that in an earlier video, and it killed the grass. It's all crunchy. We've had plenty of rain, but this Bermuda grass and barnyard grass and crab grass and all this garbage that's grown up in here is really not going to be easy to pull that lifter through. It just wants to wad up in the lifter. I saved the worst for last. I normally always try to avoid doing that, but this time I didn't, because I was trying to beat rain, and the other stuff was lifting a whole lot faster with a lot less effort, and so I just lifted what I could lift quickly. Since I'm still working a day job and these guys are working full time, I got to try to stay ahead of them. So I would lift what I could in the evenings, and then they would pick up during the day. So we've got a couple of plots. This entire field that you've seen in earlier videos is lifted except for these 3 plots of spaghetti right out here. And I'm trying not to be a steering wheel vegetable harvester. You've heard of armchair quarterbacks. It's easy to sit on the tractor, ride through the field and say, well, they didn't do a very good job, or there's stuff left out here they should have picked. So I try to get out and walk the field myself, which I just did over here. That's the reason I left it last night, because I thought there was still a lot of squash and maybe we should pick it again. Not that I thought they did a bad job, it's just maybe the squash were white when they were harvesting. They hadn't turned yellow, and now that the field's been picked over and the sun can get on them, I thought maybe there was some more that turned yellow, and they have. But 85% of what's left out there is either too small or it's got some kind of defect that makes it unmarketable, and it's just not worth the cost to go back through it. So I'm going to lift it. We've got those 3 plots. We've got this old strawberry field, and then we've got our old last year's eggplant field, and it's not going to be any fun either. I got some 55-gallon drums I've strapped on top of the lifter, and I'm filling them up with water. So it should hold about 800 pounds worth of water, and we're going to see if that 800 pounds on that lifter will get it to mash down in this residue and go on through and lift this plastic. But if we can get this up, our guys are about ready to go home and see their families. So we're trying to get this season wrapped up. So I told you wrong. I got a 55-gallon drum with 45-50 gallons in it, the way it's turned, and a 30-gallon drum that's going to hold probably 25. So that's going to give us about 600 pounds of weight. Water weighs about 8 pounds to the gallon. I can tell as soon as I let the clutch out that I had taken weight off the front of the tractor. I didn't think 600 pounds would make that big a difference, but it did. But that's a good thing. You can see right here where I made a mess trying to lift our cantaloupe and watermelon patch. So let's see how it'll do now. The only problem I see here is I didn't do this when I first started lifting plastic a week ago. This is incredible. If you are a farmer and you've lifted plastic, you know how aggravating it is to lift plastic when the grass and the residue's heavy. I mean, look at this. It's just slicing right through it. I'm having to pick up on the lifter to keep it from just burying. And I've already tried this field. This was hard as a brick, and it would not go in. I mean, I know it looks sandy, and it is, but it's been driven over all season. We'll lift this, go up to the strawberry field, which is less sandy, and see how it does. This is going to be the real test. You can't hardly even see the plastic. I know it's ridiculous that we didn't look at plastic in June, but we were pretty busy at the time picking tomatoes, eggplant, hard squash, cucumbers, etc. But anyway, let's see if this does as well here as it did over there. I am excited. This is a game changer, not only for me, but for those guys right out there that are rolling this stuff up. I mean, just look at this. It's just, yeah, it's got some debris in it, but this plastic is completely intact. I mean, that makes it so much easier on them. Not only that, but I mean, when you do a good job of lifting, it makes it so much easier for them to get it up. Look at that, all the way to the end of the row. I will never lift another foot of plastic without putting drums full of water on this lifter. The story behind this, we have only had this lifter for about 3 years. The first year we had it, it was a super dry fall, and we had a block of concrete that we found, and we hung it on the back of it, and it did a good job, but we couldn't get it go in the ground otherwise. Last year, George lifted all the plastic with no weight on it and did a phenomenal job, but so this year I just didn't think about putting weight on it. Last year it was really wet, and I don't know, maybe George is better at it than I am, but at any rate, it would be nice to put some suitcase weights on there if I had some, but this seems to work out pretty well. The heaviest thing I picked up was that log chain. I wrapped the log chain, made a little log chain saddle for these barrels to set in. Threw the barrels up here, strapped them on so they didn't bounce off, filled them up with water, and this is a game changer. I think we'll get the rest of this plastic up tomorrow. Man, this is a game changer. Look at this plastic. I mean, I know it's got grass on it in places, but it is completely intact as the day it was when we laid it. I'm not tearing it up, and all they got to do is pick it up and shake the dirt off of it. I know it's a lot easier for me to say that sitting in the tractor seat, but these guys out here that are doing the hard work, they're going to be very happy about that. I'm never going to lift another foot of plastic without putting barrels full of water on top of the lifter. This is a big deal. What I've been doing was working, but not nearly as well as this, even in ground that's not difficult to get in. All this plastic I've lifted thus far, I've been having to pull the lifter a lot deeper in the ground just to get it to stay in the ground, if that makes sense, because it has to be down deep enough that the plowshares or the plow points are getting a bite, and I've been pulling it too deep, so it's been throwing dirt on top of the plastic, which makes a lot more work for them. Now I'm carrying the lifter up a lot higher, and it is just flipping this plastic up on top of the ground. When I get out here in a clean field that's not full of weeds from this summer, it's gonna be, they'll be able to fly through it. They're probably gonna be as excited as I am about this. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and if you're a produce farmer and you lift plastic, hopefully this will help you. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.